It is the most glorious morning here. I'm at Manton, where Brian Meehan trains, and what a time of year it is for Brian Meehan, because at the moment he's got two favourites for the classics. He's got Delegator, who's the current favourite for the 2,000 guineas, and Crowded House, who's the favourite for the Derby, and I've come to see both horses go through their paces.
Just fantastic here, really. I mean, you've got most wonderful facilities, and you've got the favourites for two of the classics.
Yeah, no, we're very lucky, very lucky. Great way to be at this stage of the season.
And we've seen both horses working this morning, Delegator and Crowded House. Delegator, first of all, I mean, that win last week in the Craven, he showed a blistering turn of foot, and you must have been delighted what you see. However form experts assess the form, the way he won was really impressive.
Yeah, that's all we needed to see, really. It was good to get him onto the track and give him one more run on the track, having, just been a little bit green coming up the hill in the Dewhurst. So it was good to get him back there, and it was just wonderful to watch him the way he won so well, the way he quickened.
And you were saying that it's inexperienced, but beat him in the Dewhurst, really, do you think?
I think without any doubt, we're all agreed. Jamie thought that he was a little green coming up the hill that day, and we felt that's what it was, inexperienced, which is why we took him back there for another run.
It's extraordinary. I mean, it's people assess the form in different ways. I've been reading sort of various assessments of the Craven. Some say that his win in the Craven was no better than his fifth in the Dewhurst. Others, James Willoughby in the Racing Post, said he produced the acceleration of a Mustang, which I must say it did look like that.
He's quickened up really well. It was great to see us. He's prepared for the Guineas now. He's ready to go. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he did what he needed to do last Thursday, and we're ready for 10 days' time.
Trainers often sort of err on the cautious side, but you seem to be very confident that you're going to have a really big run in the Guineas, and you'd be surprised, really, if he was beaten in the Guineas.
We would sort of think that way. I mean, we're very confident with him. We have been throughout. The Guineas is the Guineas. It's going to be a tough race to win. There's no doubt about that. But when you have a horse like this, you have great confidence.
You had Crowded House in the 2,000 Guineas. You had the meeting, and you decided to sidestep the Guineas. Was it a close run thing? Did you nearly run Crowded House in the Guineas?
Yeah, I mean, it was a possibility all winter. We just felt, on sort of reflection over the last 10 days, that it would be a better preparation for the Derby for Crowded House to run in the Dante.
Because the acceleration that Crowded House showed when he won at Doncaster in the Racing Post Trophy, I mean, he was rated, I mean, the most impressive winner, I think, since Celtic Swing years and years ago. I mean, it was really, really impressive. You must have been tempted to have run him, because, I mean, if he'd shown that sort of, pace and acceleration in the 2,000 Guineas, he'd have taken a lot of beating.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I say, Robert, it was all winter long we were considering running both horses in the Guineas, but as I said before, it made more sense to prepare the horse through the Dante for the Derby.
We've seen Delegator on the course, of course, since the winter, so we know what he's capable of. Has Crowded House come through the winter really well? Has he sort of done everything you wanted him to do?
Absolutely. His last bit of work was on Saturday morning on the Derby Gallop, and he worked very, very, very well. Jamie was able to ride him, which was good, and he was full of confidence with the way he worked.
How confident were you before the Racing Post Trophy? But I don't know whether you knew the sort of horse we'd see on that occasion, but how confident were you that he'd win that race?
We were pretty confident. I mean, we felt that Mick Kinnan rode him in at Newmarket in the sales race, and he felt that he just needed that a little bit further, and the mile that day would have helped him. It was 7 furlongs. We were pretty confident. He's won his maiden impressively. Always looked like being a very good horse. We were as confident as you could be going into a race like that.
So do you think we'll see an even better horse over further?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I think the horse has improved. I think whatever we run him in, I don't think he'll ever let us down.
Is there any stamina doubt about him getting a mile and a half?
I don't think so. There is a lot of speed on the dam side, but he is by Rainbow Quest. I don't think it's an issue, no. I mean, I would imagine after the Derby we'll bring him back to a mile and a quarter. But then there are different racetracks then. At Epsom I think you need the speed. stamina is never such a factor as speed and balance, you know.
The facilities you have here are fantastic. I mean, of course, balance is very important at Epsom. You have actually got a Derby gallop here, haven't you? So you can sort of see how he'd handle the track.
Yeah, the gallop itself is not so similar to Epsom in that, other than the fact that it does have some undulations, but it's a straight 7 furlong gallop. It's just historically always been used for preparing Derby horses. But he's a very well balanced colt, and I really don't see Epsom being a problem for him.
So it's, I mean, that's because that can be a problem. I mean, it's the most extraordinary. I mean, there's no other racecourse like it in the world, is there?
No, absolutely, it makes it so unique. But it's you know, he's, as I say, he handles the undulations of the Derby gallop. He's handled the hill at the dip at Newmarket. I know they're, you know, very different, but you know, he's a very well balanced colt.
Favourites for 2 classics. That's quite something, I suppose. You know, I don't know whether you're a worrying man or not. I suppose you worry that you haven't got the horse. If you haven't got a horse good enough, if you've got 2 that definitely are good enough, does that sort of cause its own little worries?
Well, I think the former is more the case, really. If you haven't got the stock, then you'd be a little bit more G'd up. But you know, it's a great feeling to have two favourites for 2 different classics, especially the Guineas and the Derby. So it's you know, it's good. It's good. Just, you know, it's good. I mean, I guess getting closer to the day will be a little on edge, but you know, it's very good.
And you also got a bit of a thrill. Maybe you have a run at, well, you will have a runner probably in the 1,000 because Super Sleuth ran a smashing race in the Fred Darling.
Yeah, she was easily a week off being ready. So the trial did what she needed, which was to have a run, get a blow into her. She had a strong blow after the race, so I do feel she got a little tired in the last furlong at Newbury. Otherwise, she would have won. And she's a real improver. She'll do so much better for a mile.
And she'd shown some really good form last year. She only got beaten a whisker by Enticement in a good race at Newmarket. So, I mean, you know, but you've got something quite good to work with.
Absolutely, the form is good and she's improving.
And Nasri, a bit disappointing in the Greenham?
Yeah, possibly. The first run on that ground was difficult for him. He got tired, and he was a little free early in the race. So he again, we'll have to see how he comes out of it and play it by ear with him.
And fantastic to have you got Red Rocks is back here again.
Yes, Red Rocks is back at home. He's in good shape. You know, he just needs a little bit of time to get over Dubai. But very pleased with him. And
Paul Redham, who owns him, of course, owns Crowded House as well.
He's the majority owner of Crowded House, and he's a fantastic supporter. He and his manager Jamie McCalmont, they're great supporters of mine.
Seems like you've got reasonably exciting times to come here.
I think so. I mean, we've got some lovely 3-year-old maidens, and we've got a strong bunch of 2-year-olds as well. So very happy right now.